Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a drugstore favorites video where I'm going to be telling you what are some of my personal drugstore favorites. Now this is not in any way, shape or form a sponsored video, and just because all these products work for me doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to work for you. I'm going to start off by saying that I do have oily skin. So just because these products work for me doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to work for you. We all have the same equipment, but we're built differently. Like I said, I have normal to oily skin. I have really sensitive acne prone skin. I'm just saying this because I don't want to get any hate down below of people saying, oh, you're just lying, that's a crappy product, because that's happened to me before. And I get why you guys think like this would be a sponsored video or somebody's paying me for my opinion. Number one, nobody could ever pay me for my opinion. I'm going to be as real as it gets to you guys because that is my job. That is why I sit in front of this camera and talk to you guys. I don't sit in front of this camera to bullshit. I sit in front of this camera to give you guys my honest opinion. These are all my honest opinions. I love these products because I love these products because they work well with my skin, because I've tried them out, and because I've used each one of these products at least over 8 months and they've never done me any wrong and done me any harm, and I just love them. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there because I don't want to deal with the negativity. So yeah, sorry for that long introduction, but without further ado, I'm going to start talking about these products. Again, they're all from the drugstore. They're all super affordable. I am such a drugstore girl. I love drugstore products just because I feel like it's such a treasure hunt when you go into the drugstore, because sometimes you do get the crappy, chalky, you know, nasty stuff, but sometimes you get really amazing stuff that make you never buy the high-end version of that ever again, which is awesome because saving money is something that we all love to do. Let's get real. And I just love them. Okay, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go in order of how you would apply these to your face, or at least how I would apply them to my face. The first thing I want to talk about is this primer from NYX. It is the Tea Tree Balanced Skin Elixir. I don't necessarily know if this would be a product that is a primer per se, but I do know that I use this to prime just because I like how hydrating it is and I love how it smells. This primer, or skin elixir, reduces the appearance of skin imperfections, smooths and renews, which I really love because I have a lot of hyperpigmentation going on, especially when I break out when it's that time of the month, and this just really helps to hydrate my skin, keep it hydrated, and reduce all that hyperpigmentation. And I just love the way it smells. I know a lot of people do not like how tea tree smells, so if you are one of those people that don't like how tea tree smells, I would absolutely stay away from this because this smells. The smell doesn't linger obviously, but when you first put it on, it is really strong, and if it's something that you don't like, I would say stay away from this product. But if that doesn't bother you and you're looking for a good hydrating primer, I would offer this one. I believe it was like $9.99 at Ulta. I'm not sure, but I like it. The Maybelline Master Prime. This primer I love. Like, I love it. Smooths out your skin so well. It doesn't really do the greatest job at blurring out my pores, but right now that's not really an issue for me because my skin has been doing very well with its pore situation. But I like that it illuminates, and I like how it holds on to the makeup without making it seem too chunky on my face, which is a problem with a lot of drugstore primers. I find that with a lot of drugstore primers, they can be a little tacky and it grabs onto the makeup in weird ways, and I don't like how the makeup sits on top of it, and I'm just not a fan. But this one does an amazing job. This is honestly, this is the only one I've tried from their line. I know there's about like 4 primers. I know there's like a green one and a white one, and I think there's another one. I'm not really sure, but this is the only one that I've tried, and I do want to go back and try the other ones, but right now I'm just so obsessed with this. This is the only primer I've been using. It reminds me a lot of the That Gal by Benefit primer, except this one is like way cheaper, and it basically does the same thing. It's like, I think I have That Gal in a sample. Yeah, I do. And they're literally the same thing. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell. This is That Gal and this is the Maybelline primer. That Gal I would say is a little bit pinker and it just brightens up a little bit more. But since I have oily skin, I don't want to look too bright and not overly dewy, because then my skin gets oily and I just look like a greasy chicken. But this one does a really good job, at least for me, and it sits really well in my face, so I like it. What do I wipe this off with? Alright, moving on to foundations. I'm gonna have to start off with my baby, my tried and true, the one I always go back to, and that is my Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse. Now, if you guys have not tried this foundation, I recommend you go try it. Whether you have dry skin, I bet actually this is amazing on dry skin. If you have dry skin, normal skin, oily skin. I have oily skin. So many people have told me that this foundation is not for oily skin girls. I think you just have to find the right primer and the right products that work for you to set it and to act as a base for this foundation. But it's amazing. It's literally like an airbrush formula in the drugstore in a jar. When you see the commercials for this foundation, you see like the makeup covering, I think, like a golf ball, and it completely smooths out the golf ball. And you know how the golf ball has a lot of like dimples in it? It completely smooths it out, and that's exactly what it does to your skin. I love this foundation so much. I am in the shade Natural Beige Medium 2.5, which actually is a little too light for me. I have to go and get a darker one because this actually is not my skin tone, but this is the one that I've been using, and I just kind of bronze and like work with it. But this is not my actual skin tone. But I love this foundation. I recommend it to everybody. It's so easy to work with. It's so blendable. This with my lemon drop is a dream come true. I love this foundation. I recommend everybody to try it. I love it so much. It's my baby. It's my tried and true. It is my holy grail foundation. I will never not love this foundation. It's amazing. Another foundation that you guys hear me use and talk about on this channel all the time is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless. This foundation is incredible. Like I love this foundation. It matches my skin so well. This is actually the one that I'm using right now. It is a little hot today, and I have to go to work right after I film this video, so I know that I'm going to be sweating and getting oily and all that stuff, but this really keeps my oil under control, and it just has such a nice finish, and I love it. And I am in the shade Natural Beige 220 in this, and this is my perfect shade. I love this shade. It matches me so well. I just love this foundation. I highly recommend it. I also set that foundation with the powder version, which is the Fit Me Matte Poreless powder foundation, and it's again in this shade Natural Beige 220. The next one I want to talk about is probably my second favorite foundation of life. I love this foundation, and I use it in almost every one of my tutorials because I love it so much. But it is the L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible. Now, a lot of people don't like matte foundation. Even if they have oily skin, they don't like matte foundations because matte foundations tend to dry your skin out. Because the point of a matte foundation is to keep your oil under control, but sometimes that can do more harm than good. But what I find that works for me is to really focus on wearing a hydrating primer and on keeping my skin very hydrated to wear these foundations, because you kind of gotta combat it and you kind of gotta work with these foundations. Because I have noticed when I use a silicone based primer and this foundation, it tortures my skin. It breaks me out so bad. Using this with the Professional broke me out. Using this with the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer broke me out, because not only was this drying, but those primers are not very hydrating either. So I've kind of stayed away from those when I mix it with this foundation. I can get away with wearing the Professional with the Dream Liquid Mousse because that one I believe does have oil in it, and it just helps keep the skin hydrated and is not so drying. But these are very drying because they are matte foundations. But I have just found that if you keep your skin very hydrated, if you use a good lotion or moisturizer beforehand, and you do not use a silicone based primer or a primer that'll dry you out, this sits really well on your skin. I hydrate tons because I know I use these foundations and because I love these foundations. I hydrate tons, and I do not at all ever pair these with silicone based primers anymore at all. I just noticed that that tortured my skin. It would break me out. It was just bad news bears. So that would be my advice to you guys. If you guys like matte foundations but are afraid of them drying you out or causing you harm, just remember to hydrate beforehand. Use a really good hydrator, and maybe stay away from those silicone based primers and try to use like maybe the Too Faced Hangover RX or just a hydrating primer. Alright, moving on to my favorite concealers. I love concealers, and my favorite concealer of life, I have to admit, is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. There's just no topping that bad boy. I think that's just holy mecca when it comes to concealers. But I have found really awesome drugstore, I wouldn't say dupes, but I will say alternatives, because if used properly, you can get the same wear and the same creasing power. You just have to use more product, but I mean, it's more affordable affordable on your wallet, and they're honestly not that bad. The ones that I have found that work very well for me and that I really like is the number one, the NYX HD concealer. This concealer, amazing, amazing. The coverage is amazing. If you set it properly, it does not get nasty or cakey under the eyes, and I love it for that reason. Like, it's incredible. I love this concealer. It comes in like 15 different shades. I know they have like a stark white one, like a beige one, a yellow one, which I love, and they have a pinky tone one, a salmon one, and just so many. I love this concealer, and every time I go to Ulta, they always have like a buy one get one half off, so I always end up buying like 4, but I actually ran out and I need to go buy some more. And the next one is again the Fit Me concealer. This one is highly raved about in the YouTube beauty community. A lot of people like to compare these to the NARS Radiant Creamy concealers. I personally have not tried the NARS Radiant Creamy concealers, but I mean, they really aren't that bad. These concealers, like the drugstore is honestly stepping it up with their makeup period, but these concealers are amazing. I used to wear 10. I moved it up to 15 because, like I said, I'm going through this phase right now where I don't really like the really bright under eye. I'm sure I'll go back to my bright under eye at some point, but right now I'm really liking this neutral makeup, so I went to 15 there. But I love this concealer. Great coverage. It's amazing, amazingly easy to blend, which I love, and I love the applicator. The one thing that kills me, and I mean kills me, about the MAC Pro Longwear concealer is that it gets dingy and nasty after like 3 uses, which I hate. Like, look at this. Look at this. MAC really needs to step it up and use doe foot applicators, or just change the packaging of this, because this is also glass, which makes it terrifying to travel with, and this is a $20 concealer. Like, this is expensive. Totally worth every penny. I'm gonna add that in there because it's definitely worth every penny, but it's just too expensive, too delicate, and just the applicator I do not like. I do not like applying my concealer with my fingers either. I don't know, call me picky or high maintenance or whatever, but I don't really like that applicator. But these, I love the applicator on this. And the next one I have to talk about because this is my baby, and I've been using it since I got it, and I got it like I believe like 3 days ago, so I've only been using it for 3 days. But this isn't my first time using this. I've actually bought 2 of these before this one, and I always just go back to this. This is the Dream Lumi Maybelline Highlighting Concealer. I love this concealer because it's exactly what it says it is. It highlights and it conceals like a dream. This is what I have on under my eyes today, and I really like this because you can pair it with any one of these concealers just to brighten up any of those concealers that you may have, and it's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream. I'd like to compare these to the highlighting little sticks from MAC, except like, again, a lot cheaper. Okay, moving on to eyeshadows. I own very few eyeshadows from the drugstore just because I hate working with chalky, nasty eyeshadows. I'm just not a fan of a lot of drugstore eyeshadows, but these have become my favorite. If you guys have any out there that you guys would want me to try, not just eyeshadows, any other drugstore item that you want me to try, comment them down below and I will check them out for sure, because I'd really appreciate that. But the ones that I do love and that I feel like I have to talk about, and I feel like are going to be no surprise, are the Milani Gel eyeshadows. I love these eyeshadows. I feel like I don't hear about them enough in the beauty community here on YouTube. I just love the packaging, love the pigmentation, love how they blend out. These 3 are actually the only ones that I'm wearing on my eye right now. Shh. And I love these eyeshadows. Like, I can't even tell you guys like how much I love these eyeshadows because I love them so much. I eventually just want to own all of them. Oh my god. Right now, these are like I said, these are the 3 ones that I'm wearing on my eye right now. I don't know if you guys can tell. I kind of put the camera way too far away, but oh well. I'm wearing a Bella Mandarin, Bella Champagne, and Bella Bronze. Oh my god, the pigmentation and the way these guys blend out blows my mind because they feel very high-end to me, and they are, I think, like $3 a piece. Some are a lot less pigmented and blendable than most. Like Bella Mandarin is really not that pigmented, but I like it because it's really soft and it can be used as such an amazing transition color, and it adds just so much warmth to the eye. This is what I have under both of these eyeshadows, and it really pulls the look together. It's just a nice little baby orange pop that really adds warmth to the eye. Another one that you do hear, I'm sure, tons of here on YouTube are the color tattoos from Maybelline. These are killer. These are amazing. I'm holding the orange one right now. I believe this one is called, what is this one called? Fierce and Tangy. It's an orange one. I cannot find my copper one, but I love to use the copper one on my eye and really blend it out and just by itself. And it stays on forever. They really do live up to their tattoo names. They aren't over drying on your eyelids and they're just amazing. And I know a lot of people that use the black one as their gel eyeliner and they say it works amazing. So, I mean, there you go. You can also use these as eyeliner because they will not move. Alright, moving on to brows. You see me using this a lot. I actually do have some brow products that I want to mention. And they are the Maybelline Brow Dramas. I love these. The brush kind of makes me mad because I feel like the brush, even though I have really thick eyebrows, they thin out at the tail and this just makes it, like the brush is just too big and it makes it hard to really come through those little baby hairs. But honestly, the consistency is awesome. The colors are awesome and I love how they keep my brows in place. And when I get my eyebrows done, which I haven't gotten them done in a really long time, sorry. When I get my eyebrows done, I really don't like to spend a lot of time filling them in. And also I have pretty thick and groomed eyebrows naturally, so I just run a brush through them and people compliment me on them all the time and say what I used to fill them in when I don't even fill my eyebrows in. I just use these, so. Moving on to mascara. Now, there's only one mascara that I'm going to mention, and that is because it is top dog in the drugstore world. And I'm pretty sure you guys all know what I'm going to talk about. It's the L'Oreal Voluminous. But I'm not going to talk about the original one. Yes, I love the original one. Yes, I think the original one is dope. But this guy is the dopest dope I've ever smoked. Like, seriously, seriously, seriously. The high definition one kills any drugstore mascara I've ever tried in my life. And a lot of high-end mascaras that I've tried in my life. This one kills them, like leaves them in the dust, like doesn't even give them a shot. This mascara is amazing. I was super skeptical when I first tried this out because so many people raved about it. So many people built this mascara up and I was like, if this mascara lets me down, shame. But no. This mascara did not let me down. I believe this is my third tube. I do not like the carbon black one. I feel like the carbon black one leaves my eyelashes like spider legs, and I do not like spider leg mascara eyelashes. I do not like clumpy, nasty eyelashes, and I feel like the carbon black one did that to mine. But the high definition one, girl, let me tell you, it's amazing and you need this in your life. Moving on to blushes. Now, again, there really is one top dog in the drugstore world for me that is killing the blush game, the blushes in the drugstore, and that is obviously Milani. Now, I used to be like the biggest fan of their baked blushes, and I still am, but these blushes, I believe it's called like their rose blushes, amazing. They're all matte, they're all super pigmented, and they're all super duper freaking blendable. It's amazing, and the packaging is just to die for because it's all like roses. When I saw these at CVS, I dropped everything I had and just bought them. Not literally dropped everything I have. Okay, maybe I did drop some animal crackers, but totally worth it. And I just went and got another bag. Doesn't matter. I still love their baked blushes, but these blushes have to be my favorite of their line. They're amazing. Just amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I highly recommend you guys try these out. All of them. I just want to thank Milani real quick for blessing us with these blushes and making them affordable, because I've heard that these are basically dupes for the Tarte blushes, and the Tarte blushes are like 30 bucks a pop. So also another blush that I have to talk about because I'm just so impressed, especially for the price that these are. Like, are you kidding me? It's the e.l.f. blush palette. Now, I'm using this one today, and I am not kidding you when I tell you, you guys have to be extremely light-handed when you use these blushes because they are no joke. And I went overboard. If I look like I'm like hot right now, it's because I probably used too much, because I'm still learning to be light-handed with these blushes. They are super pigmented, super affordable. I picked this up at Old Navy, and I am just so happy that they sell e.l.f. at Old Navy because I am such an Old Navy fanatic. I love Old Navy. Like, basically my closet is just composed of Old Navy, and there's a whole lot more e.l.f. in my makeup collection now because they sell e.l.f. at Old Navy. But I love this. I highly recommend you guys go try it. Honestly, this is perfect. I feel like this palette is also perfect for the holidays because it has a lot of berries and deep cranberry colors, and then they have this really pale peachy color which is just beautiful, and I just love it. I love it. Now Now moving on to lipsticks. Now I want to quickly mention that I'm not going to mention the L'Oreal lipsticks in this video. Even though I love them, I'm not going to mention them in this video because I haven't really tried them that much. I have a few L'Oreal lipstick, but I do not use them enough to really give them a fair judgment here. But I do love the smell of L'Oreal lipsticks, and the colors that I do have, the formulation I really do like. But everything that I am mentioning in this video, like I said, I've used for at least 8 months and can completely trust my opinion on them and can really hand them over to you. The foundations though, I've used for at least over a year, and the concealers, again, my ride or dies. For me personally, top dog in the drugstore world for lipstick is Maybelline. Oh my god, I love the Maybelline lipstick smell so much, and I love their colors, and I just love how they wear. I have two right now. One is from the spring collection. I have Blushing Bud, and then I have one from their matte collection and Divine Wine. I love Divine Wine, not only the color but the way that their lipsticks feel. Even though they're matte, they don't feel matte. They are super freaking comfortable, and I cannot believe these are drugstore lipsticks sometimes because they wear beautifully, they're super comfortable, and just the smell, they just feel super luxurious and super high quality without being the high quality price. And the last thing I want to mention is a highlighter. I love this highlighter from Maybelline. I'm mentioning a lot of Maybelline, but then again, Maybelline I believe is like my favorite drugstore makeup. I love Maybelline. Like, I love Maybelline. I feel like Maybelline is really just killing the game. And I love this Master Glaze. I use this as a highlighter, and it is what I'm wearing as a highlight right now. I put a tiny bit on the high points of my cheekbones, a tiny bit on my nose, and a very little baby bit on my Cupid's bow. Just for the video purposes, because I wanted my makeup to be a little bit more dewy, but I don't like to go overboard with this because this is crazy pigmented, and I do have to go to work, and like I said, I'm probably gonna get all oily and dewy just naturally because of the way my skin is. Alright guys, but I believe that is all that I have to show you. I plan on making some more of these videos just because, like I said, I love the drugstore, but I love the finds that you can have, and I really want to give you guys the best. I really want to offer you guys the best that I feel like the drugstore can offer, so you guys can save money, save time, and really spoil yourselves, which we all love to do. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, please link them down below. I would love to answer any and all questions for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, like I said, if you guys have anything that you guys want me to try out or recommend, any recommendations. I love to hear from you guys, and yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one.